Remembering back to the start, the relationship felt incredible. There was this connection, this sense of joy and energy, this spark between you both. And now things feel like a dead space. There's this part of you that wants to get back to that feeling of lightness, that feeling of fun, the feeling of just being at one together, giving each other pleasure and enjoying the moment. And yet, the current reality is that things feel so far away from that. There can be tensions, there can be frustrations, all related to things not going to plan in the bedroom, feeling embarrassed about that, wanting to avoid intimacy, and our partner feeling like, is it because of them? Is it because we don't find them attractive anymore? In this video, we're going to work through what happens when there's this feeling of loss of connection with our partner, and importantly, how to start building that back when we're experiencing sexual performance anxiety. I got sexual performance anxiety fixed for myself. I've now spent 4 years understanding this, and I've worked with guys from every continent in the world, apart from Antarctica, to fix sexual performance anxiety. So let's talk about where things are at right now. It feels challenging, it feels difficult, it can feel like there is not a light at the end of the tunnel. There was a time where you both felt so connected, it felt electric. Perhaps there's a memory that you remember of a place that you were at, or things you used to do, adventures you used to share. This feeling of spiritual connection between you both. This sense of aliveness, and now the reality is things feel dead. Things feel like more of a friendship, roommates living together, as opposed to a romantic, pleasurable, satisfying, intimate relationship. Being able to sustain a healthy, romantic, passionate relationship takes work, and there are multiple factors that can come along on the road, that do come along on the journey, and they challenge us. And one of those factors seriously challenges us, especially as men, and that is sexual performance anxiety, whether it's erection challenges or ejaculation challenges. This is a major obstacle for many more guys than we realize, and this is something that can lead to divorce. This is something that can lead to a total depression. And that sounds heavy to hear, but this is the reality of where things lead. But they don't need to lead there. Sex represents such an important part of the relationship. I often refer to it as the health indicator for the relationship. Think about it. When we're having sex, and not just the sex, it's the connection, it's the vulnerability, the bond, all of that comes with it. When this is in a good space, it is a real serious indicator that the relationship is healthy and that it's alive. Sex is there to create life. So whilst that's not the intention every time we have sex, the very act of it in itself is about creating life. So it's a sign of aliveness. And when it's missing, it's a sign of death. That does not mean, that all of a sudden your partner is going to immediately leave you. But sometimes it can feel just as painful being in a relationship where we know that things are not how it used to be, that the spark isn't there anymore. Can the spark be reignited? Yes, it can. Let's talk about why this happens when we're experiencing performance anxiety. Well, first of all, as a guy, we question ourselves on many different levels when there's something so vulnerable to do with losing our erections or not being able to have sex in the way that we want to, climaxing too soon. We question our very manhood. We question what it means to be a man for us. Why am I different to other people? Why can't I get this right? So there's this continuous onslaught of self-doubt. That on its own is enough to change our character, to slowly start to erode away at our character and sense of self-esteem over time. And then we have the very obvious reality that there is this avoidance going on in the bedroom, right? You know it and your partner knows it. Or perhaps you keep trying, they're reassuring you, saying it's okay, don't worry, or perhaps they're having other reactions to it. But it's obvious that there is this void that has not been improving over time, it's actually been getting worse over time. And a void is just going to keep on getting bigger. Whilst we don't get this sorted, that's the reality. The void is just going to continue getting bigger. As I said, that may not mean that the relationship falls apart, but does it mean that it becomes a platonic friendship, roommates living together? Yes. So how do we start to repair the relationship while sexual performance anxiety is happening? And there's 2 steps here. Number 1, I'm going to talk about in a second, is actually getting this sorted. But number 2 is being vulnerable about this. Vulnerability is attractive. okay? When it's done in the right way, vulnerability is attractive. Right now, I assume if you're watching this video, you're experiencing performance anxiety and what you've tried so far hasn't gotten you the results that you want. And there's part of you that feels really frustrated and angry and annoyed and upset about that. And you have every right to, because you deserve to get this sorted. And there's also probably part of your partner that is thinking, is this about me? Will we ever get this sorted? Are things going to be okay again? And so when I talk about vulnerability, I mean having a conversation with your partner, you lead in and saying, we know that this is going on at the moment, okay? It's the elephant in the room that we're not talking about. And I don't have all the answers right now. Imagine saying this to your partner, I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm determined that I'm going to get this sorted. I would love for your support to just be by my side on this journey. Okay, showing leadership, being determined that you're going to find a way to get this sorted, and being vulnerable, saying, I haven't got all the answers, but I would love for you to just be by my side on this journey. That's highly attractive. If this is not a conversation that you've had with your partner so far, have that conversation. Now let's move on to the second bit of how to actually get this sorted. We have to figure out what's going on for us personally. There is no other way that I have discovered yet to be able to get this sorted. It is no use spending weeks, months, years just continuously researching things, looking at things online, trying the same things again that are not working. We have to just be honest with ourselves and ask, whatever we're doing, is it getting us the results that we want over time, or is it not? And if it's not, we have to change our strategy. The thing that I've found the most helpful for my own journey and the guys that I've worked with is to start off by understanding what is going on for you personally. Why has this sequence of events happened? What is it that's triggered this? So that you know where to focus to be able to get it sorted, right? Once we know that, this is actually pretty simple. And I mean that honestly, it's quite simple to get this sorted, but we have to know what is it for you personally that's led to this? And that gives us the clue of then how to get it sorted. That doesn't mean going back into childhood traumas, issues, things like that. But it is about taking the time to figure out, why has this come up for me? Why now? How do I get back to how things used to be? I would love to help you get there. I've created a free performance anxiety quiz. If you haven't taken this quiz already, I would highly recommend to do that right now. This is 10 yes or no questions that you answer that will show you what it is that's going on for you personally, and this will then give you the right path, the clue to be able to go and get this sorted. In the comments section below, you will find a link to that quiz. When you click on the link, it's going to take you straight to the page where you answer those 10 yes or no questions so that you can start getting this fixed and feeling normal again. I look forward to seeing you at the quiz.